All right. Hello and welcome to today's presentation on the communication hierarchy. So absolutely fascinating model. I personally have talked through this model a million times, and each time I won't say each time I notice more things walking through it. I will say that after walking through it many times in actual communication, I see it playing out. In fact, one of the things that I love to do is kind of observe a little bit in meetings and just see the models playing out, right? And see people both in alignment with the models, not in alignment with the models. Um, some people even thinking they're in alignment with the models, but there's room for growth for everybody. So let's walk on through this 5-step model here. So we start out with certainty. Now, if you'll notice, the bottom two steps of the communication hierarchy are two of the fundamental emotional needs, certainty and significance. And then we go into a team. Team isn't really a need. This kind of refers more to how people are working together. And then strategy is really a component of the alignment pathway. And then result and strategy, interestingly enough, are also a part of the belief model. So we kind of see a lot of models playing into each other, which is always fun. So to start out with certainty. So what is certainty? Certainty is a basic human emotional need. Certainty is very necessary both on the individual level. If I have an individual within my organization or a leader, I want to give them a base level of certainty. And that is really kind of what's maybe necessary for people to kind of get out of some level of a scarcity. When I'm talking to clients, I really what I want to, there's a lot of different ways to convey certainty. Confidence is huge. Getting in my UPS, as we call it, ultimate performance state. And really that's to make sure that my body language and tonality, 97% of my communication is congruent and is coming from the right place, right? If I'm going into a meeting with a high level of confidence, most likely I'm unconsciously communicating that most likely we are successful, get good results, are confident with our clients, we're somebody that you would want to work with. Other ways of communicating certainty, maybe in a sales presentation, is, I used to sell a service, exterior house painting. I ran a painting company. And part of the certainty of that sales presentation was letting them know what kind of insurances we had. We're going to have people going up ladders around your house. We want to make sure that, you feel a base level of certainty that everything is taken care of. We're using drop cloths and the appropriate protection on your windows and your brick to make sure that there's no paint drops. We have insurance. We have, great ladders. Jumping into some other sales that I've done where my company had, write-ups in industry magazines, industry awards, and those types of things. That offers great certainty to my clients and the people that I'm talking with. So the more I can kind of show authority in a particular area, show experience, show maybe some levels of insurance and risk protection, those type of things, I'm going to build that basic certainty into my communication. So very important component of communication there. And then we jump into significance. So significance is also one of the four fundamental human emotional needs. And significance is people want to be recognized. People want to, in communication, feel that they're a significant contributor, significant member of the conversation, and also be recognized for what they've done previously. For example, if I'm selling or proposing a solution, recognizing the significance of what's already in place, of what's already there, of how well the company is already functioning, of how great one of the leaders or even one of the role players is, making sure that everyone feels recognized and significant. And really only then going into talking about team and how what it might look like if we were to work together. Here's how we would have communication. Here is also kind of maybe some of the connection you're going to get from us and what that's going to look like and how we're going to meet the fundamental human emotional need for connection, and what our communication is going to look like, and how it has looked like in the past where we've had other great successes. So the key thing to remember here is a lot of times people forget about meeting the need for certainty and significance and jump straight into team and how we're going to work together, which is even better than quite a lot of people who just go straight to strategy. This is the most tempting thing. So talking first, giving basic certainty in my communication, who I am, who I represent, my confidence, what we've done in the past, and then giving significance to the individual that I'm talking about, making sure they understand how much I recognize the greatness within them. And then and only then starting to talk about, here's what communication might look like. Here's how we work together. Here's how we've worked with past clients. Here's a level of connection to expect. And then moving into strategy, then moving into how we're going to do it and executing on that strategy to ultimately create and generate the results, or even talk about the strategy before we're then talking about the results. So what we'll see people mostly doing is jumping straight into strategy. And the big recommendation of this model is do not forget about certainty, significance, and then really try to build team into your conversations and what it's going to be what it may look like working together before we go to the big one, the fun one, the important one, strategy, and then ultimately our results. So that is a quick overview of the communication hierarchy in general. Obviously, there's a lot of different specific applications of this model. Thank you for tuning in. It was fun to give this quick presentation here, and have a fantastic day. Talk to you soon.